This video is revision to the chapter. Hello dear students, today I will start with lesson number 3, that is metals and non-metals of chemistry. This video will be divided into few parts in which I will explain you the different topics. Here in the diagrammatic form, the types of metals means number of metals as well as the number of non-metals and metalloids is given, as well as few examples are also given, which now I will explain you. So first of all we will discuss about the elements. As previously you know, it is 118 elements present, okay, in which 90 are metals, 22 are non-metals and few are metalloids. Okay, here we have metals. The symbols I have written here: sodium, potassium, magnesium, aluminium and so on. Non-metal symbols I have written here: oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen and so on. So these are the main few basic metals and non-metals. Metalloids is the combination of both metals and non-metals. So they are called as metalloids. Common example I have written here: boron and silicon. First of all, I would like to tell you the definition of metals. Children, I am starting with the basic things so that revision is done as well as you memorize about the metals and non-metals basic things. So here is the definition written. Metals are the elements that conduct heat and electricity. Okay, उनके थ्रू heat and electricity pass हो सकता है. They are malleable and ductile, means they can be transferred into thin sheets. Okay, metals are lustrous, मतलब shiny होते हैं. Hard, strong, heavy and sonorous, मतलब ringing sound produce करते हैं. Then examples are also given. Examples you can see: copper, zinc, calcium and so on. Now comes definition of non-metals. They are elements that do not conduct electricity. ये just opposite होगा metals का. They are non-malleable, non-lustrous, non-ductile and they do not produce any ringing sound when they are struck. So this was the definition. In the short form also I have written these differences. As you can see, we have metals that are 90 among 118 and rest are non-metals and metalloids. So differences in short I have written. You should memorize or remember properly. Metals are solid except Hg. Hg, that is mercury. Okay, so that is liquid. Then non-metals can be solid or liquid. Here you can see calcium, bromine, H2 gas. Okay, so these are solid, liquid and gaseous form of non-metals. Metals can be ductile, malleable. Ductile means it can be turned into wires. Malleable, they can be hammered and turned into thin sheets. Non-metals are non-ductile, non-malleable. Non-metals are just the opposite of metals. Then there are sonorous, that means they make the striking sound, and non-metals are non-sonorous. Lustrous means they shine. Non-metals do not shine. High melting point of metals except Ce and Ga, and non-lustrous except iodine, which is having low melting point than metals. Okay, so these exceptional cases you have to remember properly. Then metals are good conductor of heat and electricity except Pb and Hg. Bad conductors of heat and electricity, non-metals, except graphite. High density of metals, low density of non-metals, except sodium and potassium, except diamond in case of non-metals. And then metals are reactive, non-metals are not very reactive. Ionic bonding is present in metals. Covalent or hydrogen bonding is present in non-metals. Ionic bonding I will explain you in the further videos. That is the relation between the metals when they react with the chemicals. Okay, so these are the differences in short. So mercury is liquid at room temperature and bromine is the only non-metal which exists in liquid state. Then I told you about the covalent bonding and ionic bonding. Here example I have given. For example, NaCl, as I told you, the chemical reaction takes place. So that is the ionic bonding between metal and non-metal. Covalent bonding, sharing of electrons. This happens in non-metals. So students, you have to understand the concept and then read it properly instead of cramming all these things. So here you can see the differences are written in the typed form in the slide way. So all metals except mercury exist as solid form, but mercury exists as liquid. Then iodine is a non-metal, but it is lustrous. Exceptional cases, please children learn properly. Carbon is a non-metal that can exist in different form. Each form is called an allotrope. Diamond, an allotrope of carbon, is the hardest natural substance known and has a very high melting and boiling point. So allotrope of carbon, diamond and graphite, so they are good conductor of electricity. Alkaline metals, lithium, sodium, potassium are so soft that they can be cut with a knife. They have low densities and low melting points. Okay, so these exceptional cases you have to learn very properly. Differences you have already learned in the primary classes, but exceptional cases need to be understood properly. Most non-metals produce an acidic oxides when dissolved in water, and most metals give rise to basic oxides. These differences you can understand and then write in your science notebook. Now we will proceed to the activities. So activity 301 on page number 37 also it is written to show that metal are lustrous in nature. So here take a metal strip such as iron or copper. We can take any one and then rub the metal surface with sandpaper. Okay, sandpaper थोड़ा सा rough आता है, उससे उसको rub करना है. Then after rubbing, the metal will show the shining appearance. So this proves that the metals are lustrous in nature. So here another activity 302 on page number 37. To show that metals are hard in nature, we can take different metals, example iron, copper, and we have to hit them hard, but they will not change the shape easily. But exceptional cases, magnesium, sodium can be cut with knife as they are metals. Sodium you must have studied, it is stored in kerosene. Reason, it is highly reactive, it cannot be exposed to air, and its another property is it can be cut with the knife also. So metals are hard except sodium, magnesium and potassium. Now we will proceed to the malleability of metals. Activity 303. Okay, to show that metals are malleable, as I have told you previously also, malleable means they can be turned into thin sheets. Take metals such as iron, zinc, hammer them. Then they can change their shapes and they can be beaten. We have many sheets also made up of such type of metals. Then exceptional cases are also there, and this property is called as malleability. Then we will proceed to activity 304, in which metals can be changed into wires. Observe the metals. Common wires are made. Many wires are made up of metals only. One could note that wires are made up of metals such as copper, iron, aluminium and lead. Children, these wires are made up of such type of metals because they can be turned into wires, as well as they are affordable, means they are little bit cheap in range. Copper wires are also there, but copper wires are very expensive. That's why these metal wires are preferred. Wires can be made up of gold also, but it is very expensive. So that's why always such metals are preferred to change the metals into wires, that is ductility. Then we proceed to activity 305, metals conduct heat. Okay, so we have to take wire of aluminium or copper. As you can see, diagram is also made. Same diagram is made in your textbook also on page 38. So we have to fix a pin at the free hand using wire, using wax. Heat the wire with the spirit lamp, candle or a burner near the place where it is clamped. We will see that the wire starts melting. So this shows metal conduct heat, means heat can be passed easily via metals. Common example I will give you, the pan or the utensil in the kitchen. Many utensils have handles which are made up of fibers. If they are made up of metals, then the heat from the utensil can pass to the handles also, and the handle will not be easily able to hold by any person. So that's why handles of the utensils are made up of different fibers by which heat cannot pass from them and the utensil can be holded easily. So this is the reason metal conduct electricity as well as heat. So this experiment proves the same. Now we will proceed to activity 306. Metals conduct electricity. मेटल्स इलेक्ट्रिसिटी कंडक्ट करते हैं तभी वायर्स मेटल्स की ही बनती हैं, उनमें से इलेक्ट्रिसिटी पास हो सकती है इजीली. सो हियर दिस सेम फिगर इज़ गिवन ऑन पेज नंबर 39. वी हैव टू सेट अप अ इलेक्ट्रिक सर्किट. हमने सर्किट के बारे में पढ़ा है ऑलरेडी. देन वी हैव टू प्लेस द मेटल टेस्टेड इन द सर्किट बिटवीन टर्मिनल ए एंड बी. देन we have to observe whether the bulb will glow or not. Children, sometimes when we touch the electric socket with wet hands, then the shock is produced in our body. Same way, if we use a metal in our hand and we touch, the current will pass. So metal is a good conductor which allows the electricity as well as the heat to pass. So the bulb will glow as you see in the activity because they allow the electricity to pass through them. That's why they are called as good conductor of heat and electricity. That's why it is always told to use a wood or wear rubber slippers while touching the sockets, so that shock is not produced because they are the bad conductors and they do not allow the heat and electricity to pass. Here activity 307 is also done for you. You can see, observe and write in your science notebook. Here the activity series you have to understand and then revise again and again from most reactive to least reactive it is given. In next video we will continue with chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Till then this much you revise and write in your science notebook. Children, be particular in revising all your notes properly by clearing the concepts. Thank you.